Hello there and welcome to news at this hour on African News 24 TV. I'm Mary Adam bringing you the latest news updates. Let's dive into the main gist of the day. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, his wife Bashir Asabe and son Abubakar Abdulaziz 500 million bail each, with 2 sureties each in the like sum. The presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite, admitted the defendants to bail in a ruling on Wednesday, January 7, 2026. Justice Nwite held that the reasons adduced by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for opposing the defendants' bail application were not concrete enough to deny them the request. The judge therefore granted their bail in the sum of 500 million naira each, with 2 sureties who must be property owners in Asokoro, Maitama or Gwarimpa within the Federal Capital Territory. Justice Nwite said the documents of the landed property must be verified by the Deputy Registrar Litigation of the court. He ordered that the defendants must deposit all their international passports to the Deputy Registrar Litigation of the court, and they must not travel outside the country without the court's permission. Justice Nwite also ordered that the defendants and the sureties must deposit 2 passport photographs each to the court registrar. The judge equally ordered that the residence of the sureties must be verified by the court registrar. Justice Nwite, who ordered that the defendants must remain in Kuje and Suleja correctional centers pending the perfection of the bail conditions, adjourned the matter until February 17, 2026 for the commencement of trial. Into politics. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has declared that no presidential aspirant in the African Democratic Congress (ADC) will be pressured to step down, saying the party will adopt an open and competitive process in choosing its flag bearer ahead of the next general election. Atiku said this in a statement issued by his media aide, Paul Ibe, on Tuesday, January 6, 2026. The former vice president also accused the administration of President Bola Tinubu of deliberately weakening opposition parties in a bid to entrench what he described as a creeping de facto one-party state. He noted that Nigerians have endured nearly 3 years of severe economic hardship and democratic decline, which Atiku attributed to the policies of the Tinubu-led All Progressives Congress. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged creatives and storytellers to sustain innovation and avoid complacency as the state intensifies efforts to strengthen its creative economy. Speaking at the Lens for Good 2026 Storytellers Conference, themed Stories That Move Us, he said Lagos remains a city defined by energy, resilience, and creativity, and emphasized that perseverance is a core part of the state's identity. He stressed that continuous innovation is necessary in a competitive environment and warned that failure to create or improve leaves room for others to take the lead. The governor urged creatives to constantly challenge themselves, strive for originality, and maintain trust with government through consistent engagement and supportive policies. The Oyo State chapter of the Niger Union of Teachers has threatened to embark on an indefinite strike if the state government failed to address its welfare demands within 7 days. The teachers made this known via a statement issued by the Abia NUT chairman, Friday Madu, and the secretary, Nnenna Okonkwo, on Monday. The ultimatum, which expired at midnight on January 12, 2026, followed what the union described as government inaction on issues earlier raised in a communique dated December 19, 2025. The teachers lamented that the industrial harmony currently enjoyed in Oyo State was being endangered by the failure of relevant government officials to act on teachers' grievances. Key among the demands are the resolution of alleged irregularities in the 65 40-year service elongation policy, including illegal disengagement of teachers, removal from payroll and demotion of head teachers. Others include the payment of outstanding salary arrears owed to primary and junior secondary school teachers and reinstatement of the 27.5% teachers' special salary structure for primary school teachers. The NUT also demanded salary harmonization among teachers on the same grade level and implementation of consequential minimum wage adjustments for secondary school teachers. It also demanded the release of approved running costs for head teachers and the payment of outstanding leave allowances. Part of the teachers' demand is also the correction of the alleged wrongful remittance of NUT dues to the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions. The union further called for the cancellation of the proposed computer-based test formats for promotion interviews, warning the failure to meet these demands at the expiration of the ultimatum would leave it with no option but to direct its members to commence an indefinite strike. The Amayanabo of Turusarama Piri in Degama local government area of River State, Asari Dokubo has pledged to support the re-election of President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general election. Dokubo made the vow when the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, visited him in his palace in Degama on Tuesday, January 6, 2026. Commending Wike for the visit, Dokubo said, Tinubu stood by him in his time of need. Earlier, Wike explained that his visit to the community was to thank the people for their support and to let them know why they should support Tinubu in 2027. He added that the visit was to also wish the people a happy new year and thanked Dokubo for the warm reception. Security agencies have reported a surge in terrorist attacks across Kwara, Katsina, and Kaduna States, with multiple residents abducted, including a photojournalist. Authorities said coordinated operations are ongoing to rescue victims and dismantle criminal hideouts operating in remote forest corridors. Troops also successfully rescued a retired Army colonel in Plateau State who had been kidnapped earlier this week. Residents have been urged to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Meanwhile, the Niger State Police Command evacuated a live explosive device discovered on a roadside in Mashigo local government area. Bomb disposal experts handled the device safely, ensuring no injuries or damage occurred. Police reassured the public that this situation is under control and investigations into the incident are ongoing. In the PDP, former President Goodluck Jonathan has pledged to play a more active role in party affairs ahead of the 2027 general elections. National Chairman Tani Muturako disclosed that Jonathan assured party leaders of his support, guidance, and advice, which he says will strengthen the party's electoral strategies and internal cohesion. Jonathan's commitment comes as PDP works to consolidate its position amid defections and internal disagreements. The Nigerian Police Force Airport Police Command has apprehended a 20-year-old suspected celebrity scammer who allegedly defrauded multiple victims in the United States of over 1 billion naira. The command spokesperson, ASP Mohammed disclosed this in a statement issued on Tuesday, January 6, 2026. Adiola stated that the suspect was apprehended on Monday by operatives of the anti-fraud unit of the Airport Police Command while attempting to board a flight out of Lagos State. The police spokesperson said further investigations revealed that the suspect also defrauded another 70-year-old female victim in the United States of $18,000 and approximately 26 million naira. Adiola disclosed that further findings showed that the suspect posed as a 60-year-old orthopedic surgeon working with the United Nations in Nigeria, claiming that the devices were needed to maintain secure communication with the victim. He noted that the suspect and his case file have been transferred to the Nigeria Police Force Special Fraud Unit for further investigation. And on business news, gold slid on Wednesday, January 7, 2026, as investors booked profits after prices briefly hit a more than 1 week high earlier in the session. Spot gold slipped 1.1% to $4,444.9 per ounce as of 7:15 GMT. It touched a record high of $4,549 last Monday. United States gold futures for February delivery were 0.8% lower at $4,460. Prices are not being influenced that much from a fundamental perspective. There's a lot of speculation. Price action has, for the most part, been skewed to the upside, but it's showing two-way volatility. Capital.com senior financial market analyst Kyle Roder said. He added that the US dollar was also playing a role in depressing prices. The dollar held near a more than 2-week high, making greenback price assets more expensive for other currency holders. Investors expect at least 2 interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve this year, while they look to US non-farm payroll data on Friday for more clues. The JOLTS survey and the ADP private payrolls data on Wednesday may also set the market's tone. United States President Donald Trump says Venezuela and US have reached a deal to export up to $2 billion worth of crude to the US. Trump, in a post on his social media account on Tuesday, said Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil to the US. The president stated that United States Energy Secretary Chris Wright is in charge of executing the deal, adding that the oil will be taken from ships and sent directly to US ports. The agreement is a strong sign that Venezuelan government is responding to Trump's demand, and they open up to US oil companies or risks more military intervention. Moving on, the United States government has announced a new visa ban requirement that could see Nigerian applicants for B1, B2, that's the business and tourist visas, pay between $5,000 and $15,000 as a financial guarantee. The U.S. Department of State announced this via a statement published on its website on Tuesday, January 6, 2026. Nigeria is among 38 countries affected by the policy, with African nations accounting for 24 of those listed. The new measure will take effect for Nigerian applicants on January 21. Under the policy, nationals of affected countries who are otherwise eligible for B1, B2 visas will be required to post a bond, the value of which will be determined by a consular officer during the visa interview. Now on sports. The quarterfinal lineup for the 2025 CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco has been confirmed, with the Super Eagles of Nigeria facing Algeria. Defending champions Cote d'Ivoire and 7 times winner Egypt headline a formidable last 8 with Senegal, Cameroon, Nigeria, Algeria, Mali and host Morocco joining in. The teams progressed after an absorbing round of 16 concluded on Tuesday night, continuing the tradition of thrilling contests at Africa's flagship football event. Egypt booked passage with a gritty extra-time win over Benin Republic, while Cote d'Ivoire cruised past Burkina Faso 3-0 to keep the title defense alive. Hosts Morocco edged Tanzania with strong home backing, as Senegal defeated Sudan to underline their consistency since winning the 2021 edition. Welcome to entertainment. Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has opened up about recent controversies in her life, revealing that she voluntarily underwent a drug test. In an emotional post, Daniels said the move came after months of intense personal struggles and public scrutiny. She described the period as overwhelming, saying it shook her to the core, but that she survived thanks to support of family, friends, and fans. She explained that this decision to take the test was driven by persistent rumors, accusing her of drug use claims she called baseless and hurtful. Daniels emphasized that the test was not only to clear her name, but also a demonstration of accountability, integrity, and peace of mind for those who look up to her. Quote, "I owe it to the people who stood by me, the people who love me, and the people who look up to me. Integrity matters. Accountability matters. Peace of mind matters, especially," she wrote. Moving on. West Africa's cinema industry recorded strong performance in 2025, generating a total box office gross of 15.6 billion naira from theatrical releases across the region. The figure, compiled by Film One Entertainment, represents admission of 2.79 million cinema goers, with 248 new releases screened across 122 cinemas in West Africa. According to the scorecard, 16 movies crossed the 200 million mark, while 14 Nollywood films earned above 100 million naira, as the average movie ticket price for the year stood at 5,596 naira. Film One Entertainment emerged the highest grossing distributor of the year, while Behind the Scenes, produced by Funke Akindele, ranked as the highest grossing Nollywood title. Other category leaders include Zootopia 2 as the highest grossing animation, Sinners as the highest grossing Hollywood title, and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Infinity Castle, as top grossing anime. The data further showed that Nollywood accounted for 49.4% of the total market share, closely followed by Hollywood with 48.8%, while films from China and Liberia contributed 1.2%. And that's a wrap. Stay tuned for more updates on the stories and others. Follow us on all the social media platforms and visit africannews24.ng for the latest news. I'm Mary Adim. Have a blessed evening.